What is going on, Raptors Nation? It is Luca here back with a post-game video. Hope you're all doing well. The Toronto Raptors lose against the Phoenix Suns 120 to 113, the final late game over here on the East Coast. But nonetheless, the Raptors, they did what they needed to do in this spot. Shorthanded, going up against one of the best teams in the Western Conference, fought hard till the end. After it looked like this game was going to be a blowout after the first quarter, Raptors making it a game, making it interesting. And even though they do lose, the Raptors showing a lot of bright spots, a lot of good things in this matchup. And if you're on Team Tank like I am, this was a perfectly executed loss by the Toronto Raptors because they fought hard, made this a game, but they still end up getting the loss, which helps them in the reverse standings because the Grizzlies won yesterday. Raptors lose this game. The Raptors guys are now one game back of the Grizzlies for the sixth worst record in the league, which would give the Raptors a 45.8% chance of keeping that 2024 first round pick, which is top six protected and owed to the San Antonio Spurs. Before we continue, do me a solid, everybody. Hit a like on the video and subscribe to the channel over here on the Raptors Nation YouTube channel for more Raptors content. Your support is greatly appreciated. So you look at this one. I mean, it had the makings of what we saw the other night. I thought the Raptors were headed for another humiliating loss. This was going to be a tough spot for them regardless, because you look at who was available for the Raptors, shorthanded, no Barnes, no Pirtle. You knew it was going to be tough for them to win. So Olynyk gets the start along with Abaji. He was questionable, but he did go in this one, but he didn't have a good game. You could tell maybe he was still dealing with some of that soreness. He was 1 of 6 from the field, 3 points. But you look at the production from the Toronto Raptors, what stood out: Gary Trent Jr., RJ Barrett, and Emmanuel Quickley, guys. Emmanuel Quickley brought his A game tonight. 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. I was hoping the Raptors were going to, get him that rebound there at the end, but Quickley unable to get that 10th rebound. But nonetheless, still an epic performance. He gets the Raptors game ball here, player of the game for the Raptors. He was unbelievable. He brought it, and just to see those 17 assists, which, by the way, career high for Quickley, just unbelievable how well Quickley was in this game, getting his teammates going, finding his offense, efficient from the field. He was 2 of 7 from 3, but 9 of 17 from the field overall. Emmanuel Quickley doesn't even have a full season under his belt, guys, and look how effective he's been for the Raptors. So I'm excited to continue to see Quickley's growth. He's gaining more and more confidence. We've seen a uptick in his production since the All-Star break. He's only getting better. So it's great to see Quickley playing as well as he has. RJ Barrett, fishing outing, 9 of 16 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. RJ, another 20-plus point game. It's becoming a routine with RJ Barrett in 20-plus point games. He was solid. Gary Trent Jr. led all Raptor scorers with 30. He was on his game tonight in terms of shooting it. So the Toronto Raptors, in this spot, not expected to win. They were able to turn things around, especially in that third quarter, outscoring the Suns 29 to 22. Cut the lead at 1 point to 3, knocking on the door. But the Phoenix Suns have somebody by the name of Kevin Durant. He was huge the other night in a win over the defending champion Denver Nuggets. He was huge again in this one. Kevin Durant, 35 points, 11 and 19 from the field. When the Raptors had cut it to 3, Durant scores 3 buckets and put this game away essentially, as Phoenix, they did enough to keep the Raptors off their tails. And again, just going back to the first quarter, how this thing started, I really thought we were in for a blowout. I mean, Grayson Allen turned into prime Ray Allen, as Grayson Allen, he had 7 3-pointers made in that first quarter. He had 8 in the first half, but then Grayson Allen didn't hit another 3 the rest of the way. So the Raptors did a much better job neutralizing Allen, neutralizing the Phoenix Suns 3-point shot, which burned them in those first 2 quarters. Raptors shot at 45% from the field. They did a good job moving the ball with the 30 assists. Points in the paint, they actually were +8 despite being thin with their front court. And rebounding, they were dominated on the glass as to be expected. No Jakob Poeltl. Nurkic is an animal when it comes to the glass. But all in all, the Raptors, they hung in there tight. They only had 9 turnovers. Thought they did a good job of protecting the basketball. They, forced Phoenix to 16 turnovers. And you look at the Raptors able to erase a 19-point Phoenix Suns lead, which obviously they got in the beginning part of this game, but this is a good squad in Phoenix. They were without Devin Booker, but still have Kevin Durant, still have Bradley Beal. And really, if Grayson Allen doesn't explode in that first quarter the way that he did, the Raptors win this game. It's as simple as that. So the Raptors definitely played well. You know, you look at Grady Dick, he did a nice job getting, you know, the minutes that he did. Obviously, Grady Dick's going to get extended playing time. He did get that in this one, 31 minutes. That I'm pretty sure that's a season high, career high in minutes for Grady Dick. 31 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 10 from 3, 4 of 12 from the field. And then last but not least, Chris Boucher. Got to give him a ton of credit. I mean, we were going to see him in this one just because of how shorthanded the Raptors were. Obviously, the fans chanting for Chris Boucher's name in that blowout loss against the Hornets. We did not see Boucher in that one. We saw him in this one. And really, Chris Boucher, I mean, what we've seen from him, we haven't seen a whole lot of him, but when we see him out there on the court, he does produce at a high level for this Raptors team more times than not. And he was actually really effective for the Raptors. 11 points, 9 rebounds, 5 of 6 from the field, high energy guy. If you want to win games, you play Chris Boucher because he's a guy who's going to positively impact your team. If you don't want to win, you're not going to play Chris Boucher. I guess in this situation, Darko had no choice but to play Chris just because how shorthanded the Raptors were. And we saw, I mean, Chris Boucher was out there and he made the most out of his minutes and he helped the Raptors close that gap and had him in a position where it looked like the Raptors were maybe going to come back and steal one here on the road against Phoenix. But like I said, Kevin Durant, he hit timely shots and Phoenix able to hold off the Raptors as this game got close there at the end. But going back to what I said at the beginning, I mean, we know the Raptors are not going to win a whole ton the rest of the way, guys. 19 games left without their best player, without Jakob Poeltl, who obviously this team has been a disaster without. You don't want to see the Raptors get humiliated like they did against the Hornets. But if the Raptors are able to put up these types of valiant efforts and they come up short, that's a win-win in my opinion. Because not only are you showing good things that you can build on, you know, obviously the nice games from Trent Jr., you know, Baird, and especially quickly having a breakout game in this spot. And then you're also, you know, helping your cause in terms of trying to keep that 2024 first round pick. As I said multiple times on this post game that I'm a fan of them trying to keep that pick at this point. I think the game plan should be to tank, as I said on today's pod with Matthew Valento. So anytime you're in a situation where you accomplish your goal and you see some good stuff, that's a win-win. So night and day in terms of the effort, compete level that we saw in this one in a much more difficult environment than the one the Raptors had against the Pelicans when they got blown out the way that they did. So moral victory, if you will. The Raptors, they lose. They're now 23-40, 10-21 on the road, and they will be back on the road Saturday in Portland. Second game of this 4-game road trip as the Toronto Raptors will be in an interesting matchup against a team that they might be trying to chase if the Raptors are indeed tanking. Portland team that right now has the 5th worst record in the NBA. But of course, the Raptors closer to Memphis as they're 1 game behind Memphis in the reverse standing. So that is it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this game, Raptors Nation. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thanks so much for watching. It's Lucas signing off. Till next time, stay safe.